I've had something for the past 2 years called the kill list. It's called the kill list. So what happens in the kill list, you write all the people which are already above you. For example, let's say on the podcast, and you want your podcast to grow. You write all those people that you think are on top, by maybe three of them, and this is your kill list. So this is done by assassins. And what happens is that you're not going to kill them, but you are now gravitating upon that level because it's your kill list. So once you reach a certain threshold, you reach a certain number that you want, you've already killed list 1, list 2. So you start scratching out. So that really helps with every goal that you have a kill list. A kill, scratch out, scratch out, scratch out. So it really challenges your mindset as well, even your perspective, how you think, how you see things, how you vision as well. So I told the guy, and again, to anybody listening to this, please, the internet is a very bad place. If you meet somebody there and they say they are who they say they are, don't believe everything that you see on the internet. Trust. Before you trust, you need to verify. How I would love to see it in terms of the creativity side, the storytelling side as well, which for me, I thought, let me make it human, but most importantly, let me make it fun as well.
Hi Zen people, welcome back to another podcast episode. And on today's guest doesn't just understand technology, he understands people. From investigations to global stages, from storytelling to cybersecurity. This is a conversation about influence, awareness, and the psychology behind human behavior. Boikokobetso, Makhetloane, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. First of all, man, how are you doing? How's things going?
Now, things are hectic, but we're trying to find balance in everything that we're doing. I think we're trying to make an influence in all that I'm doing as well, and just trying to make an impact on people's lives. And that's the most important thing that I'm trying to do at this current moment. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we need a lot more people like that in the world right now. And I think what you're doing is amazing. And when, somebody close to us, Nadia Viren, recommended you and started following your journey and how easy you make it for people to resonate with the craft. Yeah, I would say is awesome because it's such a complex environment and not a lot of people understand it, but it's such ingrained in our lives right now. And I think what you're doing and making it fun for everybody is awesome.
Yeah, but also I have to give you a shout out as well, man. So you're also doing phenomenal, incredible work. I think it's really hard when you have a goal or a dream and you have to be consistent in it because consistent comes with discipline. And you have been doing something really great with the podcast and making sure that not only people stay purposeful, but also stay mindful of finding out information about the guest and what is that you bring in, because it's really helpful, the information that you share. And thank you as well for continuing having the discipline and just continue pushing.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. So Mr. Fingerz, as they call you.
Yeah.
That's your pseudonym. Where did you grow up and, what kind of influence you had early on in terms of people and with technology?
100%. So I actually grew up in a small town in the East Rand called Nigel Duduza. So it's a township. So I grew up around there, and in high school and primary, I was well known because I loved creating and having relationships with people. And funny enough, a lot of people always, every single time when they have a chat with me, they always think I'm a very intelligent guy. I came out of the top 10 in high school, and I tell them the truth, I didn't. I was not even a top 10 student in high school. I was very good at building relationships. In fact, I actually failed a grade twice. In high school, I finished high school when I was this is the first time I'm actually saying this in a podcast or in an interview. I actually finished school very late. I finished school when I was 20. So when I was doing my matric when I was 20 years old. So I was very good, as I said, in building relationship with people, trying to know people who they are, because I'm a firm believer in creating relationships that are human, And that has made me who I am because I love that and connecting with people. I love communication as well in terms of speaking. And it's been something which has made me, I think, stand out not only in my industry, but in every industry that I've actually worked in as well. And yeah, just a fun guy who just loves exploring in terms of technology. How I actually got introduced into obviously the tech side of things. Funny story is, I'm still am a sound engineer and a music producer. So I've always loved
Awesome.
computers, solving music problems and stuff. And where I lived, people knew me as the computer guy. Whatever they had problems with their computer, they'll come to me and
Guilty.
I'll be the
Same.
guy. Right. I don't know if you still remember back in the days we used to forgive me for this one, but I have to say, but we used to we used to do piracy in terms of CDs and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, man. Don't worry. Actually, my previous guest, who was a DJ, over here in Toronto, I actually explained to her. It's like I used to do the LimeWire thing and get all my music and stuff from there. Yeah, we did it. That was our technology back in the day. Don't scold us for it, but we learned from it.
Exactly. So I used to do a lot of that, USB music and all that. So people used to come to me for music because I used to be the it guy who had the latest
Mm,
music as well. And my love for obviously creating, making music, producing music as well led me to working into a radio station. From working into the radio station, this is when I was able to meet like-minded people, different people as well. And this is where I started exploring technology because I didn't understand what was cybersecurity. Growing up in a place where we're not introduced to certain career fields, I didn't understand what is tech,
mm,
all these things. My only vision was like, I just need to succeed, get out of the hood, and just make it. That is my aim. I just want to make sure that I get out of here and make a name for myself. And that's basically how everything all started from there. And so obviously, long story short, to get into where I am today.
right. I think from early on onset, what I'm listening to you is you had drive to succeed, not because it was placed on you, it was within yourself. It's something that you've always had an innate drive within yourself to make something of yourself. And like you said, the hood, and I know a lot of people would say, oh yeah, it's just a normal story, everybody that comes out of the hood would, but it's not. It's a personal journey that not everyone will understand what you go through, your emotional state, your mental state, your physical state. All of that comes together and it plays a huge part in actually, for one, just having the first mindset, and then secondly, doing something about it, because it's not easy. We can all just sit and dwell in that wallow, but to do something about it, that's where the actual strength comes from, because we all can speak, but if action doesn't correlate with speak, then it doesn't really matter. So what I'm hearing from you is that you had that innate drive to always push boundaries, and that's what obviously made you a welcoming person to people, because they relate to you in that way. It's just something, an aura that you have, similar to myself. I'm not tooting a horn or anything, but it's like it's easy to have a communication link between yourself and the next person, because you yourself are coming across as genuine.
100%. I think just being real, it makes a huge
Mm.
difference to a lot of people because I'm going to be honest. There's a saying, so in psychology, there's something called, when it comes to being, when it's you as a person, right? There's a public you, which people know from outside, your friends and family, social media knows you as that person,
Mm.
right? That person to be appear to be. And then there's a private you, which is, for example, if you have a girlfriend or wife, they know you personally from that private you,
Yeah.
whoever you are, because there's a different persona in that. And then there's a secret you. Now, even your wife or girlfriend doesn't even know that part. Only you alone and your shadow knows the secret you. So I try to imitate and become that one person in all elements of my life because at the end of the day, I don't want to live a life where I'm gonna fake it. And then when you leave me in real life, you're like, but dude, you that? Nah, I am who I am. I love people, and I just embrace the journey. I embrace who somebody is, because I don't know who they are in terms of face value, right? And I never judge people according to how I perceive, how I see them or perceive them. I first want to hear you out in terms of your personality. Do we gel? Do our energy gels? And that's very important for me as well.
Yeah, yeah. And curiosity comes within that. And, when did you realize you see the world differently?
That's a very good question. I'm gonna tell you, this is the funniest story, and I was actually thinking about it this morning. When I was
Yeah.
in high school, a teacher of mine, when I was in grade 10, I tried to join public speaking, and she said to me as I was auditioning, I would never become a great speaker in my life, so I should just leave public speaking. And me being me, I literally threw it aside. I was like, she's crazy. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try again. I tried the following year, same teacher again. She told me, why are you still forcing things? I told you you're never
Mm.
gonna become a great speaker. Fast forward to when I got to my matric, I ended up getting or going into acting, and I ended up being selected as one of the top 10 winners in the acting classes as well. And to looking back into that now, even when I went to college as well, and when we're in groups or with people, every single time I would be in groups or with people, and we had to do a project together. My friends or the people I was in a group with, they would select me. They're like, dude, you need to speak. You're gonna speak out there now.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is that people saw who I was before I could even believe and see it in myself. And people saw it in me, and I
Yeah.
was like, guys, nah, I don't want to speak. I don't want to go in there. I'm afraid. They were like, no, dude, you have the confidence to go speak there. You speak very well. You can present everything. We'll do the work. You don't have to do the work. We'll present that.
You,
And even when I sit around people, I've always known that I'm different in how I think, how I see things as well. Great example again on this one is this is the funniest thing. When I go into a restaurant, I analyze people, right? I will analyze a particular
mm.
person in terms of their personality, what type of person they are, what job do they have, are they married, are they not married, are they single, what career do they have, what's going on in their mind. So I'll just analyze them like an analyzer. Sounds crazy, but I've been doing that ever since I was a kid. Until I found out that there's actually something called human behavior. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, let me study more about that. And that's when I realized that my mind is always curious. And that makes me
Okay.
different because I think differently and I'm a creative at the same time. So I think
Yeah.
it took me a while to realize that I'm different, but I think the people around me also helped me to realize that, hey, dude, you're different, but your difference comes with a unique gift, and we love that about you because that's actually what makes you who you are.
Yeah. You're reminding me of Will Smith, Spy in Disguise.
Mhm.
Just analyzing. The movie, the animation Spy in Disguise, it's kind of bringing me,
Oh yes,
resonating
yes,
with
yes. I know that
that.
movie.
Suave and
Yeah,
just looking chilled, and but also analyzing, making sure things are copacetic in a way.
it's the best thing. I challenge you. If you are going to be grabbing a coffee or tea during the week or whenever, go sit in the corner, right? Analyze somebody or people or
Mm.
somebody just around that particular coffee shop. And three things you should ask yourself. Okay, what type of person is this person is? Um, what field are they in when you look at them, their structure, their posture as well. To give
Mhm.
you a lot of things about that particular person, right? And then another thing is this person a family orientated person or not? So from there, you can draw your conclusion on the particular individual. So that even when I meet people for the first time, I'm able to tell you and tell you from far,
Yeah.
this person's like this, that. And then when I get there to people, I don't want to scare them. Like, oh, you married, you have a girlfriend. I just keep quiet. I'm like, in my head, I already know all these things. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So, what would you depict if you just saw me for the first time? What would you think? I'm just putting you on
You're
the
a
spot
person.
now.
That's actually good. It's a good question, right? And from my side of reading, from your side, obviously I'm in a screen, but I can see and I notice that you're a person who, number one, who's calmness, believe in that relaxation, which is number two, and you also meditation. It's another thing that you gravitate on doing as well most of the time, and looking at your body posture and everything right now, again, you're a very confident person, but you're also an introvert as well, right?
Mhm.
So should I continue?
Correct. No, correct. I would say my meditation is being active, so that's my meditation.
Exactly. That's your meditation, right? So you believe in
Yeah.
calmness, and you're not a person who likes chaos. You're a person who likes peace.
Yeah, spot on. Okay, I'll be very mindful of that next time. Make sure to present myself very articulately. No, cool, man. That's awesome. No, I love that. It's a gift, like you said. Somebody that not a lot of people have that. And a story similar to yours in a coffee shop. I also observed. I wasn't just in the corner. I was actually getting my coffee, and I just kind of, just perused the room and analyzed a little bit. And there was one moment where I just realized there was nobody talking to each other. Everybody was plugged into their devices or whatever they were doing, head down, and there's no actual human connection. And I just, something inside me just felt sorry. Where have we lost? Where have we lost that ability to just have a conversation without being connected to our devices? And I feel that's why also part of the reason why the podcast exists is to get people to start expressing themselves in a way that they could never have done or have thought of done before in a safe space. And I think that's what you're doing as well. And from my observation of you is also is you're very articulate, very confident, and that's what I take from you. You're very knowledgeable on the human behavior and also the tech side, which is a gift.
Yeah. Appreciate it. I try.
That's all we can do, right? Is we try. Like you said, you were drawn to the human behavior. Did you study anything within the behavioral sciences?
So, can I show you something?
Sure.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me finish.
Sure. Go ahead.
So there's a few guys which I follow and I read as well, and one of them is actually one of these guys. His name is Chase Hughes. So I'm currently this book as well. It's good. It's a human behavior book. This guy, he's a human behavior expert. He used to work in the military. Now the book I'm reading is Surrounded by Idiots, which teaches you about different personalities for people: red, yellow, blue, and green as well. And something in crime and also in psychology, which is forensic psychology by dummies. It teaches you about human behavior, but also about crime as well. So these are the things that, so I love watching a lot of documentaries about crime and listening to experts speaking about the human side of things in terms of the people's stories. So I think that's why I gravitate around people's stories. So when they start speaking about the person's story, how did they get to be the person that they are, or why did they do what they did? So that makes me interested in terms of, oh, okay, so they did that because of psychology in terms of ABC, or they were affected when they were young. And just reading blogs about that, about the human mind, the body, and all these things. So it really helps me. And then from there, I just put it into practice, right? I use another trick by the CIA, which is a CIA manual. So I read the CIA manual in terms of how to read a person's body language, which is very helpful, especially, share secret there, especially if you are going to be going to job interviews. You will kill it. You will kill it. Once you understand the person's body language from the other room and you're sitting on this side, you would know if that person is open or closed, and if they're willing to listen to you going further or not.
Yeah. Interviews are an interesting one because it's always about the person, not what they know. What they know can always be taught. In hindsight, it's just you, the person on the other side is, can they bring something different to what you actually currently have? Not in terms of information, but contribution in terms of participation, people skills, soft skills, those kind of things. make a huge difference. Yes, the information is important and what you can do is very important, but also the person on the other side and how can you collaborate? Are you able to collaborate and work with team members, things like that? That's the other side that a lot of us forget when we go into those interviews, is that we always just focused on the information and then just start parroting or kind of figure out, okay, I know this and scenario this A, B, and C. But if you portray yourself as calm, confident, that's what comes across, and I think that's what lands most people the job, is that they're able to firstly handle that environment in a calm, respectful way, and secondly, they are able to also contribute from an information perspective.
It's very true. Very much true. And you hit it spot on, brother. Spot on.
Yeah, but it had to take a lot of learnings, right? A lot of mistakes to understand it. I think that's where this journey has taken both of us. I think there's a lot of mistakes that were made that we had to rectify. A lot of challenges too. In anything within your space, any challenges that really took you back, and you had to reset basically and then start again?
I mean, I've faced a lot of challenges, especially in my career, or especially choosing a career that I know I could gravitate around. And here's the funniest and craziest thing. Every career field that I've worked in, I've always succeeded, but I've always gotten bored in the middle, because yes, I did enjoy it, but not like what I'm enjoying in tech, right? And that's the thing about it. And the challenges, the most challenging thing, I think for me, I think was when having an open mindset. To be honest with you, right? Having an open mindset, because your environment shapes who you are. Being in an environment where you only get to see one particular thing in terms of, for example, one career field, one particular certain cars that you see, certain houses. So you're stuck in that, in that box until you get exposed to different areas, different people. You start seeing certain things. You're like, oh, this is how the world is. It's like traveling, for example. You're stuck in the same country, doing the same things. But when you start seeing the world, you're like, oh, other countries are actually doing this in this way. Wow. I can bring this idea to our country, because this is a problem where I can bring a solution to our country. So I think for me, it was just that, having a very open mindset most of the time. And until I realized that not having a closed mindset will really limit you on a lot of things. And another one is the to ask questions. I've always been a person who's, in the past, I was scared to ask questions, right? And I would just agree. You give me a task, or you tell me whatever I need to do, and I will agree. I'm like, yes. Soon as I get to my desk, I'm like, damn, I don't even understand what the heck am I supposed to do. And I realized that was a huge gap, and that made me commit a lot of mistakes, do a lot of mistakes. And from there, I realized communication is important. Another one is just communication. I needed to communicate. I think somebody who's taught me this, and I'm going to give her a big shout out. There's a lady called Aziza. I worked with her. She was very strict. She was one of our producers when I was still in radio. And she was like my older sister. So she would treat me as a brother, but she would make sure that she was super strict on me, right? Doing that. And she would teach me how to communicate, because to be honest, if I would be late on a task, I would not communicate. I would just keep quiet. On the day where I'm supposed to deliver the task, I'll tell you then, hey man, I can't deliver the task. And she'll be hard on me and tell me straight, dude, you need to communicate in advance. Let people know how are things, where are you. If you're struggling even with something, when you're struggling, you don't understand, learn to communicate. And to be honest, that has really changed my perspective. That has also really changed how I live my life. Even not only obviously in personal relationships, but also in the workspace as well. Because now, even when I speak to a client, and for example, a client will say they need a particular request on a certain time, I'm able to communicate, hey, this can't be done at this particular time.
Yeah.
This is what I think can be done. And he has a better solution. And that communication part has really helped me because instead of me just folding my arms and like, yeah, it can be done, it can be done. I don't lie. I won't lie. It can't be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The
yeah,
expectation is created when you don't communicate that, oh, you've got everything under control. And that goes in any aspect of life. It's if we don't communicate how we feel, it kind of causes a problem because at the end of it, it's just like a pressure pot. It kind of blows up and it's not very nice. It's very ugly. But if we had
exactly.
communicated earlier, those little things don't really manifest. Yeah, you deal with it in the moment. And I myself had to learn how to. Still learning. Still don't get it right all the time. Just to communicate in the moment instead of just letting it build up. Because that's how I was. Very introverted. Kept things to myself and never asked the difficult questions upfront because you didn't want to seem inept or you didn't
That's
understand. You didn't want to understand or come across as, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's not about that. It's just your curious mind understanding. Okay, this is the task. This is exactly what I need from you. And yeah, if you're going along, then you come back and okay, this is something I don't understand. Can you help me with this? There's nothing wrong with asking help. I think that's where we have our egos in check. We need to really say, I don't know in something. Can I get some help?
And we are very scared of looking stupid sometimes, right?
Yes,
And that
correct.
is our problem. We are very scared of looking stupid or being judged. But here's the thing. If you are going to be scared of being judged of people, you're always going to live your life in the darkness or in the corner because now you will never live to your full potential. So you have to ask those questions which you think are stupid, or you have to just be brave and just take a step forward into trying to go after that. Because we're always scared sitting in the corner like, what if, what
Yeah.
if, the what ifs really, they really kill a lot of things, man.
Oh
They
yeah.
really kill your self confidence. They kill the questions that you want to ask. And guess what? They even kill the hopes, the dreams, the ideas that you might have. So, yeah.
That's where most of our anxieties stem from, the what if. Because we're already playing the scenario out in our heads way before it even actually happens. And that brings your current space or your current mindset into anxiety and into a frenzy. Fight or flight mode takes over and you're not really actually living in the present. And that's where I had to learn, don't go too far ahead, don't go too far back. Yeah, it's okay to understand where it stems from, the root, and where you're going to get to an outcome, but don't forget to live in the moment because the present time is no better time because you're kind of missing out on what's happening right in front of you. And like they said, we don't know what's going to happen 6 seconds in front of us. So it's not pretty, but try and live just in that moment right now. And something that comes to mind is concerts nowadays where we go and so I love electronic music. So there's a show, a festival that Tiesto played at quite some time back in Germany. It was before cell phones and camera phones came out, and everybody was just feeling the music, right? And I fast forward, say maybe 10 years, everybody had their cell phones out. So you're more worried about capturing that moment instead of feeling the moment, and that's where we get lost. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is try maybe just in that moment. Yeah, I'm not saying don't capture the moment with your cell phone, but try and love or feel the music a little more than capturing the moment. And it's important to capture the right moment, not every moment.
That's true. Be present.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
presently we live in a world where tech is it's incorporated in every aspect of our lives. Cybersecurity is part of that as well, where we need to protect ourselves. When did you realize, okay, cybersecurity and technology is something that you would love to pursue? And a lot of times it feels cold, but where did you learn to detour and make it human and fun?
So I realized that growing up, I didn't hear much about cybersecurity. We always saw movies about hackers sitting in a dark room wearing a hoodie, typing in the dark corners and stuff. The only thing we do that's a hacker. And
like Mr. Robot.
until I got exactly right, until I got introduced to cybersecurity, and I worked for a company where we used to do a lot of intelligence work on the cybersecurity side. And I saw a gap where, in terms of every single time I would spend time with the CEO. So every single time we would have a client's meeting and she would say and talk about cybersecurity, I would see the fear of the client's face, right? Every client would have that fear. Or even when we have or training people, I would see their faces as well. People have a fear. Every single time we talk about this company was hacked, or hey, hackers this, hackers that. And I realized that this is a huge problem, that I don't want to bring fear into explaining cybersecurity to people, but I want to make it fun, understanding, share the daily things which you do on a daily basis, that without you noticing that these things are part of tech and technology, but they're also part of cybersecurity, they're also part of safety as well. So I saw a gap in that. I was like, why not use the everyday life, but use it through my own way, how I would love to see it in terms of the creativity side, the storytelling side as well, which for me, I thought, let me make it human, but most importantly, let me make it fun as well. I think that's where I saw,
right?
Exactly, right? That's where I saw the gap. I was like, nobody does this in the way that I want to do this. Because why would I listen to a person who's going to explain to me, don't click on that link? Okay, why shouldn't I click on that link?
Yeah.
Like, it's boring.
We all do the normal training, right?
Exactly. But if I tell somebody, hey man, you know that link that they actually sent you? Yeah. So this is what happens in A, B, C, D. Now tell them. Then I give them a scenario. So there's a girl called who and who. This happened, they click that, all these things. Give them a story that can relate to them and which touches home. Especially when people see either somebody who looks like them or a story which goes similarly to something which goes, or something that touches them from home. People love stories. To be honest, as human beings, we are connected with stories. It's like polka dots. It's like those dots, polka dots, and we all connecting all together, right? As human beings, that's how we are. We love connecting, and we love connecting the dots. When you give them a story, and you tell them the story, your imagination starts going wild. Like, tell me more. And when the story is over, like, what? More. You see, so I knew that gap, and I was like, we love stories and we understand through stories. Because once I tell you something in a story, you're never going to forget it. It's embedded in your subconscious mind as well.
100%. Cybersecurity, I've also been in that space, worked in that space. For me, I was actually at Standard Bank and thrust into the role of email security. And I didn't understand it, didn't know what the magnitude of that was. But looking after 60,000 people, it's not just South Africa, but Africa as well, I had to learn very quickly. Like you said, human behavior is part of that. What actually people communicate out to the world, and what are they allowed to communicate, and how do they protect themselves? Yeah, we don't get it right all the time, but it's like you said, it's about educating. Even ourselves, we need to educate ourselves constantly, because just recently I got financially scammed. And so we have to learn from our mistakes, and we're not going to get it right all the time, but it's now learning to see that in a fun way, but also in an educational way, which you're making things simple to understand. Somebody comes to you and say, I keep hearing this term social engineering as well. No, what is that? Can you explain it to somebody who doesn't understand it from a technical perspective?
Yeah, so that's actually a good question. So social engineering, it's more of human manipulation, right? When somebody tries to manipulate you into giving them whatever they need from your side without you even realizing that you are giving that person that thing. Great example of this is we are having a conversation right now, and I'm going to convince you to give me your home address or you give me your password without you realizing that you're giving me that. So it's either I'm going to manipulate you in a bad way or manipulate you in a good way. I think social engineering, it goes in two ways. There's a good side of social engineering, which is there to help people. Then there's a bad side of social engineering, which is there to scam people and take, for example, as you say, you're scamming with money and financially as well, right? So that's the bad side of social engineering. And even when I tell my stories, sometimes I try to tell two stories, the good side, the bad side as well, so people can get to understand the both side elements, so they shouldn't confuse the two.
Yeah, 100%. Because we all do the corporate training, and some people just will just rush through it and not just get to the end so they can be compliant. And that's the misconception of it. But it's actually there just to help you understand, okay, there's certain things in life there are bad actors in the world, and let's be honest, they constantly trying new things, more advanced ways, techniques to get your information. And vigilantly, we also have to be aware of, as people ourselves, what we put out there, because it's easy just to put everything out on the internet and think you'll be okay, because your digital footprint now has been embedded into it, and bad actors are out there. Any suggestions or any recommendations for somebody who would love to, just even a simple thing like start protecting their passwords, any simple tools or sites that they could use, or applications, just to start from there?
100%. So I think we need to start from scratch in terms of how do scammers or how do hackers get information. So that's another thing, right? So these people, they get your information. 80% of people, all your information, it's on a digital footprint, which is on social media. So these scammers usually get your information from social media. Hence, I always say, do not post everything about your life on social media, because the first thing they do, they get all the information they need about you from social media. Great example of this with human trafficking. I know what they usually do. If a woman or a guy is going to be posting on Instagram, usually people post on real time. Be very careful when posting in real time. So people post in real time that they're sitting in this restaurant, and what happens now, it's either they post that restaurant or they don't post that restaurant, they post a picture. So what can happen, a scammer can take that particular picture, scrape it, then it gives them the metadata. So what metadata is, it's basically information that comes with the picture. So it scrapes it, gets that metadata, uses that metadata, gives them the information in terms of what type of phone were you using, where's the location that you took that picture or video as well, and what time did you take that. And they could use that information against you as well. So we have to be very careful. If you are posting pictures of your kids, that's another thing, because they can find a particular school in terms of your kids. I'll give you a great example. There was a competition which was running here in South Africa recently. I think it was, I won't mention the radio station's name. So they were running a school competition where they were telling parents, you need to post your child's school uniform, your child in a school uniform. And for me, I had a huge problem about that, right? Because I know I'm sorry to say this, there are crazy people out there. That people
for sure, every day.
Crazy. And these people are always luring and looking and all these things. So we have to be very careful what we post out there. We are what we share. That tweet that you posted 3 years, 4 years, 5 years back, it can still be found. A picture that you posted 3 years, 5 years back, it can be found. So be careful in terms of what do you share on social media. Do not overshare. Don't share your home address, your location as well, where you are, what you're doing. And then in terms of, obviously, you get into your passwords as well. It's very important for us, obviously, to protect ourselves. But how do we protect ourselves in terms of creating a unique password? So I always say, don't create a password which is either your name, your child's name, your husband's name, your boyfriend's name, your sister, your family, your dog. Don't create anything which is related to you, because that's the first thing that a scammer thinks about. It's like a scammer looks at your social media, to be honest with you, right? Because I've interviewed a few scammers, but I've never put their podcast on my podcast. And I've had it to chill with them. So the first thing they do, they look at a person's social media and it can tell them a lot about that particular individual. Then they start guessing names from using that person's social media in terms of, oh, this person is close to ABC, which means they, password could be this, and they were born in this year and this month. Let's use that. Boom. So don't use your unique ID or date of birth as your password. Use something like this. This is a great password. Use a sentence. Trust me, it's the best thing ever. Hackers hate something which is a sentence, especially if it has a space. You go, I am, boom, 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 whatever, gibberish, bam, 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 space. You write. Hackers hate that. Hackers don't like that. Right. And another thing.
That's something I'll disclose to my users to use a sentence.
Yeah, and another thing, please make sure that we use a password manager. So with the password manager, we're able to generate particular unique passwords with the password manager, because now we intend of forgetting passwords. We create passwords, we forget passwords as well. And there's something called a pass key, which I like right now. I think Microsoft, Google as well has also created that as well. It's available in every phone. It's available basically on everything that we have now, which is a pass key. So with the pass key, people don't know what it is. It's basically connected to the human element side of things. So without either your face or your fingerprint, it can't open. So all your passwords are saved in that. So which is very cool. Yeah. So nowadays we have a pass key. So activate a pass key on all your emails and everything. It only needs, your facial recognition, your fingerprint, for it to activate and open as well. Because you can't remember all the passwords. Do not use the same password for everything. That's very important. Don't use the same password for everything.
I mean, everything requires a subscription now or login or something. So, and there's a lot of information. A lot of the time, you just, I'll sign in with Google or I'll sign in with Apple. And I know Apple does that pass key for their application, for their environment. That's a good thing. So sometimes it, like you said, on the front end, it might be easy to scrape, but if without that facial recognition or a thumbprint, then it's impossible to get without actually you being physically there. But cloning nowadays also, everything is moving at such a rate of knots.
I know, right?
It's but we do the best we can just to protect ourselves, and we try every single day. That's the most important thing, is to stay vigilant, and if it doesn't feel good in your gut, just move away from it.
Exactly. I always say, even when it comes to links, or somebody sending you when it comes to a link, and you've never seen that email, question, right? If you've never seen that email before, question, why is this person sending me this? Why do they want this? Why do they want me to click on this? Especially if something is urgent. Hey, this is urgent. Yeah. Just know that 80% of that is a scam. If it's your bank calling, they say that money's leaving your account. Don't worry about that. That's why your money's in the bank. The bank has insurance. Be like, okay, thank you for letting me know. My insurance in the bank will pay. Drop the phone.
That's true. Because a lot of the times the templates are the same as, the organizations where you think it's reputable. So that's how they trick you into thinking, is this legit or not? And that's where the little nuances where you need to be really, really careful. Or if you're not sure, even pick up the phone and say, hey, I've received this. Is this legit or not? And then if they tell you no, okay, delete. But make the extra step and just be curious, like you said.
Be very curious, because nowadays we even have scams where people are lying that they've lost their phones, acting as relatives as well. So be very careful with AI scams. People can copy your voice. Right?
AI
if somebody
scams,
says they're me, I'm not me. So let's be careful of that.
Yeah. What's your take on AI now in the security space? Where are you mindset wise?
Look, for me, AI is amazing. It's doing great. It's helping, a lot of us and a lot of businesses as well in terms of automating things and more on the human side of things, less work for people as well. But there is a risk behind everything, to be honest, right? It has a good side and a bad side. Everything has a good side and a bad side. I think for me, the bad side of it, it's how it's been abused. And this is where people are creating AI models. I'll give you a scenario of a story where I was actually covering and somebody I had to help. So I get a lot of emails and messages from people requesting that I help them. So this guy actually sent me an email. He first sent me a DM and then he sent me an email for me to help him. So there's something called sextortion. So with sextortion is basically you send pictures of yourself to this particular individual, and this individual ends up blackmailing you, acting as a fake person behind it and telling you, hey, I'm going to blackmail you. You need to pay me an X amount of money.
Exactly.
So this guy, they were told that, hey, you need to pay me $5,000 for the next 4 weeks. And he came to me like, dude, this guy is blackmailing me. I don't know this person. This lady's blackmailing me. They're telling me they're going to expose me and my pictures that I've sent. I was like, tell me the entire story in order for me to help you. Now, I'm not going to give out my secret yet, because if I do give out my secret in terms of how I caught the guy who was behind that.
No, for sure, yeah.
But the long story short is what I ended up doing. I noticed that the person who created that account used an AI model for that. And I ended up finding where the person who had the account was from, and I ended up exposing them on their side in terms of their location and their face, and I knew who they are, where they work, and who's their boss. And I told them directly, dude, how many accounts do you have? Show me all those accounts. They ended up showing me all the accounts that they had, and I told them directly, it's either you're going to delete these accounts, you're going to stop blackmailing people, I'm going to report you to your boss directly, because I know where you work and you're going to lose your job. And they were actually from Nigeria. And they told me, oh, dude, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, and I'm going to delete all these accounts. And they end up deleting the accounts as well. But what I did, I took a step further, reported those accounts again to TikTok and also to Facebook and Instagram as well, because I think that's very important. So I told the guy, and again, if to anybody listening to this, please, the internet is a very bad place. If you meet somebody there and they say they are who they say they are, don't believe everything that you see on the internet. Trust. Before you trust, you need to verify. So verify before you can trust that particular individual, because they might say, send me this and I'll send you that. Nowadays, we live in a very scary world. So that's where I'm at in terms of my mindset of AI. It's really scary, and people can just regenerate, for example, your voice as well. Take your videos from YouTube, regenerate your voice, and then send those voice notes to one of your family members. They do all send. They're very good in what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. They're good. These guys are good.
No. I actually saw the documentary about those scammers. Actually, it was regarding a young man in the UK. He actually committed suicide from the sextortion, and it's the same. I think it's probably the same ring from Nigeria performing this. And like you said, these guys are very smart at what they do, and they use third-party people, not just themselves. They've got a whole network going around. And kudos to you for getting this guy's pictures back. But initially, don't send those pictures because you never know what they'll be used for. That's the first thing. Don't send those pictures to people. Period. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you want to, rather meet in person, then you know who you're dealing with. Otherwise, just keep that stuff off the internet.
Yeah, that's true. Even with blackmail as well, because people are getting blackmailed. So same thing.
Yeah, exactly. You're sharing a lot of this, and part of it is on a global stage as well. You've become now a global speaker. How did that come about, and what was your first major stage feeling like? So
the thing is this: when I have to speak, for me, I always think to myself that I need to be speaking to one person, because if I try to think about if I'm speaking to a multitude of people, I start getting nervous. So I always look into, I'm speaking to one particular individual. Even when I do a video, I don't direct my video to a lot of people. It's just one individual. Because if I say, hey guys, welcome, nobody cares. But if I'm like, hey man, did you know? Now you know, you're like, oh, he's talking to me. Oh, he's relating to me now. So for me, it's always been that. So I've realized that
Yeah. Okay.
I need to be speaking to one person. And the feeling to get on stage, to be honest with you, has always been amazing and phenomenal for me. I get goosebumps every time. I get excited. It's so overwhelming and so amazing because always takes me back to what the teacher said to me back in high school. You will never become a great speaker. And it
That's your
comes back
drive.
to
That was
me.
your drive.
That was my drive till this day. And it comes back to me in terms of, imagine if I had listened to her and I could have given up. I was not going to be here today, right? And now I had two voices in my head. The one voice which was small and saying, "Oh, we can give up, we can give up." But the big voice was like, "Nah, we're not going to give up. She doesn't know what she's speaking about." But
Yeah.
just getting on those stages globally, locally, it's amazing, phenomenal, and knowing the audience that you're going to be speaking to, because I don't know the person who I'm going to be speaking to at the end of the day. We can say that I'm speaking to a business person, but I don't know how they thinking. But hence, I'm always saying that I always try to be speaking to one person, and it ends up, influencing everybody in there as the audience, because I'm addressing this particular topic to one person, but everybody is actually affected by that particular topic, and they're like, "Oh wow, I can hear this, I understand this."
I'm gonna share something with you. I've been wanting to share this story for a while, and it just never came up. But I think this is the right time to do it. Similar to your story, where that teacher told you never be a good speaker. For me, I was playing actually a cricket game, and there was a touring team from Durban, and I was always participating with age groups higher than me. And my coach came up to me. I thought I was gonna play, and my coach came up to me and he told me, "You're too young to play. Like, this is not." I thought to myself, but no, this is. And I was very emotional. I started crying. I didn't understand it, and they had to call. My mom came over and they had asked me to write score. Take score. And I think to myself, no, but I'm good enough to play. I know I'm good enough to play. Why are you telling me I'm too young? Doesn't matter. Age means nothing. It's what I have technically and ability that I can bring to the team. And my mom was like, no, it's okay. You're still part of the team. You're still contributing towards the team in terms of writing score. But I was very dejected that day. I felt very dejected, and I felt, you know what? I don't really care. And I know I'm good enough to play, regardless of my age. And ever since then, I never shied away from competing with people or guys that are older than me in that aspect. So I've always challenged myself to be competitive, regardless of my age. And I look back at it. I've always participated in sports or anything with people higher than me or older than me. So I knew within me that was the fuel I needed to say, hey, you don't tell me because I'm young I can't play. I know what I can bring to the team or whatever it is.
Perfect. And then, can I challenge you on this as well? So I've had something for the past 2 years called the kill list, right? It's called the kill list. So what happens in the kill list, you write all the people which are already above you. For example, let's say on the podcast, and you want your podcast to grow. You write all those people that you think are on top, by maybe 3 of them, and this is your kill list. So this is done by assassins. And what happens is that you're not going to kill them, but you are gravitating upon that level because it's your kill list. So once you reach a certain threshold, you reach a certain number that you want, you've already killed list 1. list 2. So you start scratching out. So that really helps with every goal that you have a kill list. A kill, scratch out, scratch out, scratch out. So it really challenges your mindset as well, even your perspective, how you think, how you see things, how you vision as well.
No, and that's a good one to actually, like it's like a checkbox, but you're challenging yourself because, like you say, if you stay stagnant, then you become complacent, then you become comfortable. But if you keep pushing that envelope and trying to reach somebody who's you don't have to obviously outdo yourself. It's more about what you bring authentically as well. I think a lot of people would resonate with authenticity, and not just you trying to get to a certain level and you're trying to punch yourself, but it's more about the message that's coming through. I think that's what I stay grounded now, because my wife always makes me aware of that, is that it's not the accolades, not the likes, not the comments, it's not reaching a certain level. It's about expressing that authenticity and allowing people to share that, because that would resonate just automatically with people. That would resonate a lot with people, and that's an important aspect I take out of it, is just to express ourselves authentically, and the rest will follow. The rest will follow for sure. With accolades, you have been nominated and been recognized by the Mail and Guardian for being top 200. What did that mean for you? Firstly, when you heard that internally, and then to your external environment, what did that mean to you?
Craziest story. People don't know. I want to share this story, and it's going to be the first time I'm sharing this. For 4 years, I've been trying to get into the Mail and Guardian. By the year that I decided that I'm not going to enter nothing, somebody nominated me, because you can't nominate yourself, because they do a background check.
You see what I mean? Everything follows when...
Right. And I kept on getting rejected because it's really tough getting in there. And I just gave up. I was like, whatever. Boom. I get an email that, hey, congratulations, you've been selected. You're right now on the list of the top 500. So if you do get selected, you'll be obviously the top 200. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I wonder who nominated me. So there's the thing. They don't tell you who nominated you. You don't know.
Oh, it's anonymous? Okay.
It's anonymous. Okay. You don't know. So I think it's a total stranger from whoever, however, appreciate that person for doing that, And it came back when they told me, congratulations, you have been selected as the top 200 in Mail and Guardian. And that feeling for me as they're telling me that I'm the most influential person obviously in South Africa doing that. The feeling was overwhelming, unbelief as well at the same time, because I think I've realized that when you put in the groundwork and just focus on the work and not caring about accolades, awards, all these things, and you just care about sharpening your X. Every day you sharpen your X until you get to the woodwork. Just chop it.
Yeah.
So I just cared about sharpening my X. The day that I was actually focusing on sharpening my X, it just happened. That thing just came. And the feeling was so overwhelming and unbelievable as well. I didn't believe it, to be honest. It's been life-changing for myself, because it was a goal for 3 years ago that I've been wanting to get into, because I've realized that I think over the years of achieving certain goals is that we get to a point where we have a goal, and once we achieve that goal, we're like, okay, what's next? Right? And I've realized that it's important to enjoy the moment, to enjoy that goal, to enjoy that feeling. And I enjoy it every single day. I embrace it and I'm grateful for it every single day. Because right now, to be honest, I'm not asking myself what's next. If what's next comes, it is what it is. Let it come. Yeah. It's just sharpening my X at this current moment. I'm going to continue sharpening my X, making sure that I make a big impact.
Yeah, consistency is the key thing. I think now a lot of consistency and discipline. That's the important part for for anything that we're kind of trying to do is stay consistent with it. I know life happens at times, and that's okay. We have to be kind to ourselves as well, because we're not going to be doing the same thing every single day. And we have to also be kind to ourselves when that doesn't happen. Were there moments in life when you felt, okay, I need to take a break. This is getting too much for me?
That's a good question. I was talking to somebody again, a friend of mine, Caleb, today. Yesterday. He's from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about this. So I think it happened last year and happened again 2 weeks ago, where I got so overwhelmed. I have obviously a 9 to 5. I have a mentorship where I mentor people. I'm doing content creation. I edit my own videos and I'm shooting content. I need to prepare all these things. At the same time, I need to take care of me. I need to be with family. I need to be with friends. I need to make time for everything that's important for me as well. Because if the world has all this of me, but I don't have enough of myself, I'll end up getting depressed. And I realized that I am doing everything at the same time for everyone and the world, but I'm not doing everything for myself. So I realized, whoa, step back, dude. You need to take a break. And I think I took a 1 week break where I wanted to reflect on everything and stop drawing goals. I started doing systems in terms of, okay, what do I do on a Monday? What do I do on a Tuesday? What do I do on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? So becoming very strict on my time. Even craziest thing, even when I'm on social media as well, I use my stopwatch to time myself in terms of how many minutes do I spend, right? And then even on my phone, I've got a social media app that locks me after 10 minutes
Is it
or 1 minute. It locks me
Opel?
out.
Is that the one?
I'm
using-
Double check. Yes,
I'm
it
using
is.
Opel.
Mine is
Same.
Refocus.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it's Refocus. So it really helps me. It locks me out, and I become so disciplined. And it's important to find balance in everything that you do as a person, right? Not only me. I think even with your audience, find balance in everything that you do. Try to water everything in your life, but most importantly, take care of you, because you only have one life, and there's only one of you.
For sure. I agree with you there. I think last year, November, was that time for me as well. Both my wife and I were pushing so hard to achieve what we wanted to achieve in that year, and we're pushing every single week and day, and eventually she was unwell and I had to take care of her, because I was pushing my content, I was podcasting, my work, my 9 to 5, and her. Everything just got too much, and we decided, okay, no. Thankfully, our trip to South Africa in December just came at the right time, and we just took a break, spent it with family and friends, started doing the things that we love doing, hobbies, things like that. Is there anything that you do outside of the tech world, just to keep your cup full? A hobby, sports,
I love playing golf.
Anything else? Okay, good.
Love playing golf. I love skating as well. So those are the things that I love doing. Yeah, I know it's
You'll
weird.
be fine in Canada then. No, you'll be fine in the cold then.
Is it?
No, that's awesome. Yeah, you'll be fine, because it's a very where I live. It's a very infectious environment in terms of mindfulness, health, just activity, because everybody's running. Even in the cold, people are running, just doing their thing, and you become part of the community or part of the environment that you live in. And that's, I think, it's important. Like you said, it's important to be in an environment where it's going to bring the best out of you. And sometimes where we're born is not the best place for us, and somewhere else it's going to be that way. And that's where you keep pushing the envelope of you trying to move away from your hometown to get away and make something out of yourself. Now, just winding down the podcast and just trying to get a bit of how we say, we do root cause analysis in in investigation. In terms of influential people and influence for you, what does that mean?
For me, influential people and influence person, for me, it's somebody who makes an impact on people's lives. For me, Great example that yourself as well, you are making an impact on people's life, right? It's somebody who drops a footprint in somebody's life. When somebody remembers you for making a difference, that for me, those type of people. One of the people which he's actually passed on, which I still look up to, there's a guy called Dr. Miles Monroe. He made a huge impact and a footprint. His work still lives on until now. I think that's where I want to do things right now in my life, where things that I've done and things that I'm doing to still be there for the next generation to continue going as well. So that's what I think an influential person does. When you remember the feeling of how this person made you feel, and not how this person made you think, but the feeling is the most important because the feeling stays with you forever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Now, 100%. That's. I think what we all want to strive for is that feeling of warmth. And I'm not sure if you've seen the recent trend, but Punch the Monkey, and that feeling of abandonment that he received. Yeah, that he received from his mom, and just finding solace in that stuffed teddy bear. I think a lot of us resonate with that story, and I think it's a beautiful story about perseverance and not giving up. Yes, he was depressed, he was sad, but eventually he found his family. And I think that's a lot of us right now, is that you find your family sometimes away from your family. Not discounting your own family. I'm saying you find like-minded people in the most unexpected places.
100%. I think that's where I'm at right now. I think a friend of mine was actually asking me, I think was it 2 months ago, that why my podcast doesn't have a name. Why is it called Mr. Fingerz? And I was like, oh no, it will have a name. It's because only now I started gravitating in terms of, I understand exactly who am I. I understand why am I doing what I'm doing at this current moment. So the name will actually reflect that as well. So even with my audience, same thing. I think it's all about them relating to me, to what I'm saying, and to the stories that I share. How does those stories affect them? Because these are everyday things, every people's lives as well. I would say that because I care about them, and I think being authentic with them. And I reply to every DM. Crazy enough, I reply to every single DM. I think that's what makes my community come back and like, I can just go on and comment on this guy's things, because I go back and follow up. I'm like, hey, you need advice on this, I gave you that advice, and I tell you at the end of the day, hey man, let me know how did it go. But you will come back and like, hey, this is how it went, and I would spend time, give myself time to reply back to you. And that's what we want as human. We want a connection, and once we have that connection with that person, it leaves a impact on your life forever.
Yes.
So that's what I've done.
The relationship then sticks. Yeah. Because think about it, you send somebody a DM, you'd like a response. I feel that way too, because sometimes people take like an age to respond back to you. For me, it's if somebody sends you a message, because they're taking the time out to send you a message, it takes nothing from you. It doesn't take so much of your time just to respond. Even if you can't get to what they're actually asking for, just, hey, thank you for whatever it is. I can't really get to it right now, but I will get to it. So there's an acknowledgement. I think that's the thing, the acknowledgement that you send it back to the DM, is that you care about it. It's not that you just, I'm getting so many DMs, I can't really do this now. You take care of it, and that's why I think people trust you. That's important. And I just want to touch on just for 5 minutes, your podcast before we go. What drew you towards the podcast space, and why do you think it's important to share these kind of stories about the tech world and the cybersecurity?
I'm gonna be very honest. I love speaking. You can notice.
Okay.
So
I should have got
that drive, exactly right. So that drive for speaking, it made me want to open a podcast, but also at the same time, I thought about doing a podcast only myself. But I've realized that I'm a person who's always curious and I'm good in asking questions and interacting with people. And every single time I would meet people, I would ask them questions like I'm interviewing them. And they'll gravitate around me and be like, it's actually a good question there. I never thought about that. And my friends also came to push me. That's why it's important to have and surround yourself with people who see your gift or see your purpose while you can't see it. And they're going to try to direct you. They can point you out. Like, dude, you're very good in this. And I'm very grateful for that, right? And I noticed that. And I was like, oh, why not start a podcast with guests that I think are very impactful and they're making a difference in the industry that I'm in. But most importantly, why not answer questions that I keep on getting DMs on, but we make it conversational. Instead of me just asking the questions, why don't we make it a conversation between me and you? Let's have a conversation and let's see how it sticks out. Because most of my guests, when I tell them, hey, come on the podcast, they're like, oh, what do I want to say? I'm like, don't worry, I'll make you feel comfortable. You know,
I get the same. Yeah, I get the same.
Yeah, my point. I think once you have a conversation, and I try to drive away from the whole interview thing. I drive it to let's have a conversation. It's just two people, we're having a conversation. Don't think about the person who's watching. Think about you having a conversation with me and just answer the way you would answer as if we are just together. That's
chatting. All. Yeah. No, I agree with you there. That's the same modus operandi I work from as well. It's don't think about it as an interview. It's just think about it as a, just a casual chat, talking about whatever we need to chat about. And at the end of it, people are like, oh yeah, I thought it was going to be like an interview, but it's actually quite a cool conversation because it was calm. I shared my stories, you shared your stories, and it didn't make them feel, interrogated, so to speak.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Nah, 100%. No, thank you so much, Boikokobetso. Did I say that right?
Well pronounced. Pronounced.
Nah, thank you, man. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. I really appreciate it, and I wish you well on your endeavors and your journey. I look forward to watching your space and keep educating us. I think we really appreciate it. I think it's very much needed in this time. So keep doing what you're doing. And if somebody wants to get hold of you and DM you for any kind of work or just get in contact with you, how can they do that?
100%. So on LinkedIn, it is Boikokobetso, which is, I'll spell it, is Boikokobetso. Makhetloane. So it's Boikokobetso Makhetloane on LinkedIn. And then on TikTok, it's Mr Fingerz. So if you do search for Mr Fingerz, you'll find me. Same thing for Instagram. Instagram is Mr Fingerz as well. Facebook as well. I do have Facebook. It's Mr Fingerz as well. And then on YouTube, if you just search Mr Fingerz, you would definitely are going to find me. Just send me a DM either on all social media platforms or one social media platform. No need for you to send DMs on all social media platforms. I will find your DM. So that's where you can find me, ask all the questions that you need to ask. And I do make sure that I do reply to every DM. Please understand that I'm not a superstar. I'm just a normal person who's doing my best to try and reply to every single message. Sometimes I do take a bit longer because I'm overwhelmed with messages, but I do reply to every single DM.
Now, if you didn't catch all of that, check the links in the description. I will leave them there as well. So don't worry about it too much. But if this conversation, guys, made you feel a little deeper, question a little more, or see the world in just a little bit differently, I think then we've done our job. So thank you so much for sharing with us today. And until the next one, guys, remember, stay zen. Thank you so much.